Hello everyone, my name is Habiba Wakari and this is Samira's Haven. In this video, we're talking about existing laws in Ghana. Article 11 Clause 4 of the 1992 Constitution states that the existing laws of Ghana comprises the written and unwritten laws as they exist before the coming into force of the Constitution, and any act, law, decree, or statutory instruments that were made before that but takes effect on or after the coming into force of the Constitution. A case where existing law was discussed was the case of Ellis and Another versus the Attorney General. In this case, the plaintiff's land was compulsorily acquired by the state through the Herman Land Acquisition and Compensation Law 1992, PNDC Law 294. This law took effect on the 20th of November 1992, before the coming into force of the Constitution on the 7th of January 1993. On the coming into force of the Constitution, the plaintiff brought an action to the Supreme Court for a declaration that PNDC Law 294 was inconsistent with the Constitution because they were not adequately compensated. They also argued that though PNDC law was an existing law in Ghana, it remains a valid law until it is challenged by a superior law like the 1992 Constitution. PNDC law was a valid law before the coming into force of the Constitution. And since the 1992 Constitution was a prospective law, PNDC law could not be set aside by the 1992 Constitution. The court stated that the PNDC law 294 belonged to a class of laws that pre-existed the 1992 Constitution. Therefore, PNDC Law 294 was an existing law. The land was vested in the states before the coming into force of the Constitution, and the compensation provided to the plaintiff was adequate. Therefore, PNDC law remains an existing law that is valid, as it will not be proven that it was inconsistent with the Constitution. Another case in point is the case of the Republic versus Abiola Ayoride Kayode and Ananda. In this case, a Nigerian criminal syndicate had committed financial fraud against several financial institutions in the United States of America. In a bid to extradite the criminals that were resident in Ghana, the USA sought to rely on a 1931 treaty between the USA and the UK to